Hello, my name is Marcos Guardiola, and I'm the film director here at Revolution Church. If you ask me how long I've been doing videography, I would say it's getting close. Actually, this year is probably gonna get close to 2 decades. My interest in filmmaking and videography, cinematography, even though they're all kind of different, they're also all kind of the same. And I feel like if you're into one, you're at least a little bit into the other one, right? You like movies, you like videos, you like all that sort of media. So for me, I was interested in it since I was a little kid, I remember doing stop motions on my dad's phone, then eventually moving on to like the family camcorder or little snapshot cameras. Just like growing up during the boom of media creators on YouTube, like creating stuff in a very independent way. Like they don't even need funding in a way. Like you just have your own tools and you can just upload something to the internet for free and put it out to the world for free. That was always very inspiring to me. So anyways, as a kid, that was what caught my attention. I remember I really enjoyed watching skate videos. That was kind of like my aesthetic as a kid. I made it my whole personality, just like skate reels. So yeah, there were some very cinematic ones that I was like, wow, that's cooking. So yeah, and I feel like that really influenced my style currently. Like, I edit my videos like they're skate videos, even though there are no skateboards inside. So the first camera I bought was a Fuji X-T30. I didn't really get to use it as much because I bought it like right after school, and at the time I was working at an agency, so they had their own equipment. I didn't have to bring my own camera to work essentially, but I bought that camera because I really liked it, and there was a teacher who really influenced me because he would use Fuji's for location scouting and kind of like behind the scenes stuff, and that was kind of like their day-to-day camera, right? So I was like, I want a day-to-day camera too, so I bought that one for that. But funny enough, like right after college, I didn't even go into filmmaking or videography or anything like that professionally for 3 years, because I was like, I'm gonna open a business. So I opened a coffee shop and operated it for 3 years after college. Didn't do any videography at all. And then, well, I would say maybe the second year I owned the coffee shop, I did like some freelancing every once in a while. And then after the coffee shop, I fully got into videography as a career. And I grew up in the church, and the church always has a need for media, whether it is to tell a story of someone, like of God's work in someone's life, or some accomplishment as it comes to outreach and missions and stuff like that. So since I grew up in the church, I was always, and like people knew I had that talent or that ability to create content like that. I was often asked either edit photos or make a recap video of an event that happened. And so I would say what I'm doing now, I was doing when I was 15, 16 years old, but of course at a completely different scale, right? Because I had limited tools, limited talent, limited knowledge at that time. So I would say that sort of shaped my decision to go into college with that mindset of like, okay, well, I'm good at this. Why don't I sharpen my skill set and actually study for this and actually learn the language for it, and learn like everything that I'm lacking, like actually learn that, right? So I did go to, technically we could call it film school, but it was really like the career or the major was called digital arts and multimedia business. So yeah, I guess it's similar to what you're probably studying right now, which is like a very broad spectrum of audiovisual media, whether it's music production, sound design, videography, cinematography, script writing, all those kind of stuff, with the end goal of producing an audiovisual piece of media. So what I do as a videographer week to week, thankfully I have a team now, which like Jacob is part of it as well. Like as videographers, what we do is, especially at a church as large as this one, there's a lot happening all the time. So we cover week by week. We're kind of like documentarians of the life of the church. So we capture what's happening when people arrive, people hanging out in the lobby, exchanging smiles, exchanging dialogue, right? Just church life. We're documenting church life, what happens in the gatherings, during the worship, during the sermon, during rep kits, the gatherings that we have specifically for kids and for students. We also do like a lot of outside events, like outreach events and camps and stuff like that. So we are intentional in capturing all of that, kind of like to have archive of all of it, but also very intentional because we want to tell stories. And I feel like that translates to every other way that you can do videography. If you do wedding videography, you're also just documenting that event. If you do any kind of event videography, like you're documenting a concert, you're documenting a wedding, you're documenting a social event, a corporate event, you're documenting that event and you're wanting to tell a story visually. The difference between being contracted videographer versus being an in-house videographer, I would say is, it's like job-wise, is the stability. If you're an in-house videographer, you may not have like a decision on asking like, oh, this is my day rate and I'm charging this much, like for each individual project. But you have the stability and the peace of mind that you're like, okay, my check is gonna arrive every 2 weeks, right? And like if you care about stability, being an in-house videographer has that benefit, right? And also that, of course, with a job, you have all the benefits of having a job, like insurance, health insurance. Like I'm just giving you the perspective. Like if you're thinking going into videography as a freelancer or as a in-house videographer, you have some benefits, of course, if you're working as an in-house videographer, because you're part of a whole system, a whole group of people that is like under a company or under an enterprise or whatever you want to call it. And if you're a freelancer, of course, you can also get all that. It's just a little more challenging because you're like all on your own. In my case, I have this like job, but I also do freelance every once in a while. And I'm very selective about the projects that I do get, because there's been times that I just grab any project that comes my way and then I end up regretting it because I have all this responsibility already and I'm working with a project that I'm not really all that passionate about. So lesson learned, like for me, if you have a day job as a videographer and then you have to go home, if you have like your 9 to 5 as an in-house videographer and you have to go home and work like 5 to 9 as well as a videographer independently, that's really tolling in your energy. So I would say if you're planning to do that, find projects that you're actually passionate about, that are well paid, of course, as well. Like if people are asking for your service, they are wanting your service, so you are able to say, oh, actually, this is how much I want. And if they want it, they'll take it. If not, that's fine. But yeah, don't be afraid of actually stating what your work is worth. Mostly, I would say the available work for videographers that I've personally seen, it's social events like weddings, parties, stuff like that. So I usually go more for like corporate events or like brand content videography. Yeah, like companies or small businesses, people that are wanting to promote their work. Like that's usually what I go with. I've seen the industry change over time, I would say, because it's easier for anyone to do it nowadays. You can start up with even less of a budget that you could start with, I don't know, even 5 years ago. It's like a world of a difference how accessible media creating, like content creating tools have gotten. They've gotten so accessible. Budget between $300 to $1,000, you can get like a nice camera that will get the job done. It's all really about creativity, and there's also so much sources to draw creativity from. So I feel like I would say that's how the industry has changed. There's more of an accessibility to everyone, for everyone to do it, which also, it's like a blessing in disguise, right? Because everyone can do it, but at the same time, that just makes it all that much more competitive, because you have to really stand out in the market. Looking forward into the future of videography and AI, kind of like how they're interacting. I really haven't landed on where I want to be, like which hill to die on, or if it's even a hill to die on. Because of course you want to be conscious about the art or the media you're creating, depending on how you see it, right? That's kind of more of a mindset thing, a philosophy thing. Like, are you creating art, or are you seeing it more as oh, this is my job and this is content, like purely content, and care more about quantity over quality, right? I'm sure AI will get good quality content at some point. At this point, I still feel like it's very noticeable when something is AI. So I see it more as a tool. If it helps you get there, for sure. I won't deny that I've used it. I've used it for kind of like for inspiration, like creating storyboards with AI. Creating storyboards with AI really saves a lot of time, especially for big projects, and especially when it's only you who is doing everything, right? You don't have a specific storyboarder that's going to do it for you. So yeah, I mean, it's a what they call a trial and error with AI at this point, for me at least. The biggest mistake I see beginner videographers or filmmakers make when they're starting out is trying to do everything on your own. Sometimes for some of us, that's a sense of pride, like, oh, I did everything on my own. And sometimes it's just like lack of confidence to ask people for help. Like, you're shy, or you're afraid that people are gonna say no to you asking for help. But creativity is better when you share it with someone, when you share the experience of creating with someone, which is like, this ties to the idea of what I was saying about AI earlier. Like, there wouldn't be a need for AI if we as creatives were more into networking, because you wouldn't have to do everything on your own, and you wouldn't have to be so dependent on a machine to do something for you if you had a friend who could do something for you. So in my case, I know, like, it's definitely something I have in mind, that I have friends who are musicians. I'm a musician myself. Sometimes I need a very specific track for a project. I would love to collaborate with a musician friend and have him create a track for me instead of asking an AI to do it, right? So yeah, I would say the mistake of any creative career is wanting to do everything on your own. You have to network, you have to make good relationships with other creatives, and it just makes the process much more enjoyable, because you bounce off ideas of each other. You also don't just create in a vacuum. You validate your ideas with others to see if they're actually good, and if it's not just you telling yourself, I'm awesome. I would say the best place to network is the place where you are allowed to be yourself. The place where you don't have to like hide your passion, your interest. So whether that's school, maybe you have a creative group of friends that don't go to the same school, but you have the same interests. Church, church has been a great place to network for me. College, even though I went to film school, like if you're not intentional, I met a lot of people that were not intentional about networking. Like they were just kind of like going through the motions. So if you or your parents are gonna go through all the effort to get you into film school or any sort of college, into a creative field, if you're going through all that effort, you have to make the effort to actually socialize and network with people, make friends that are significant, not only to have fun, but also to build your career. I'm not saying like try to leverage off your friends, but be intentional with your connections, like with what you offer your friends and what your friends can offer to you, like help each other grow, right? Also, maybe if you're in college and you get the opportunity to really connect with good teachers. I remember two of my teachers were guest speakers at my school. They were only there for a limited time, but they were sharing a lot of their knowledge, and that was really inspiring. Yeah, if you have the opportunity to connect with good teachers that you can learn from a lot, that's also good. Like build good connections with them as well, get their contact info. Sometimes your teachers are gonna have their own portfolio, so try to find their portfolio, see what their work actually looks like, and then ask specific questions about how they did something or the other. Like if they have videos, if they have photos that they've taken, yeah, that's a good way to learn. Also, network anywhere you're able to be passionate about your projects, about your interests, and just network with people who share that passion.